bitching.
Hey internet friends, AJ's Figures back again with another video. This time I've decided to do it on the McFarlane Toys Kickstarter Medieval Spawn figures. I've had these in hand for quite a while now. I've just not had the time to actually do a review on these. But you know what, I've had them out, I've taken some photos. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see them. These things look amazing under the lens. I really love messing about with them. But I've actually decided to put one of them back in the box so I can do a sort of simulated unboxing for you guys and then an in-depth review of both copies. I've got the blue one and I've got the black one, the more modern looking one. And I can't make my mind up which one I preferred, so I just decided to get them both. So we'll not waste any more time, we'll pop this guy open and get into the review. So I don't really know how to go about this. It's such a big box. There we go. Yeah, as you can see, it's got Medieval Spawn written on the side. You can see a really distorted look at my face. Whoa. Yeah, beautiful box. I really love the boxes for the Kickstarter Spawn figures. On the back, there is nothing. And then on the side, Medieval Spawn. And if you take off the slippy slidey cover, you will notice here that mine's actually came with a horrible ding on the side of it. Oh, for fuck's sake, what the hell was that? Mine came with a horrible ding in the corner, and it's like that on the bottom of the box. Oh, the inner box as well. Pretty nasty. Here you can see that this inner box has got a really nice emblem on the front with the sword and the shield and some extra dust that was completely free with the figure. That kind of gloss spot varnish look for the imagery just carries on into the box. Another one on the back, exactly the same. Yeah, so if we open this guy up, ta-da! Bitchin'. Yeah, you get a face. So yeah, you get a lot with this guy. It's almost overwhelming the amount of stuff that you get with this figure. Right. So, what I've done is I've taken all of the accessories from the modern version of Medieval Spawn and I've stripped them down as much as you can to the actual accessories. So there's accessories here that he comes with on him in the box, and then there's accessories that are separate in the... This head sculpt is possibly my favorite, if I'm honest. If my camera will focus. Look at that. The skull. That classic Spawn look as well. You can actually see the eyes in there. And the reason for that is it's a separate piece. The Todd did it. So cool. Removable helmets are always a welcome bonus, especially when it's something like this. It's a soft, pliable material. I don't think I'm going to get any paint rub or anything like that. Oh yeah, it's just so cool. Look at that ugly ass hamburger mug, man. Teeth could have a little bit of paint on them. They get a little bit lost, it's a bit muddy, but I mean, it still looks so good. The back of the helmet has got all these skulls on it. Proper Spawn shit right here, dude. Here's the Screaming Head sculpt. We saw this on the first Kickstarter Spawn for the classic look. It's really nice. Okay, I said the other one's possibly my favorite, but oh, here we go. This one's sick as well. Once again, just amazing looking paintwork and sculpt. You can see all the holes, the trypophobia look on the front, and then... Hell yeah, dude. This one's not removable, but it doesn't need to be. The fact that the visor flips up, oh man. The kid inside me is freaking out. So good, that gloss. and then the metal finish here. It's awesome, man. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the photos of this helmet, I thought this could possibly be die-cast, but no, it's plastic. I'm not gonna lie, it feels a little bit cheap plastic, but oh, mate, it doesn't look cheap, so it doesn't bother me. Now we're moving on to the rest. I've got the hands here. He comes with a pair of grippers. I mean, not much to say about these. They're the same on the blue figure as well, on the classic Spawn, cast in that black, and then they've got the red paint for the pads on the back. They're nice. You can see the sculpt, so good, so good. There's not an inch of this figure, not even a millimeter of this figure that doesn't have a good sculpt. Here we've got an open hand for the left side, and then for the right we've got this kind of pointer hand. It's cool. It feels like it's meant to be a gripper as well, but like a loose grip. You can kind of mess about with it and use it for different things. And then you've got these clasps to hold his cloak on. I'll show the cloak first. The clasps go through here, and as I'll show you, they help attach the cloak onto the figure through the breastplate. The cloak, as you can imagine, is just caked in detail. Look at that. Nice lining, and it's got all the sculpted folds into it. And we've got people arguing outside. I have to say, I've been wanting a medieval flail accessory for a figure for quite a while, so I am so happy to have one now. This thing is wicked. It's an actual chain as well. I wouldn't recommend doing what I just did there with your copy. This is my copy, so I'm happy to push the limits on it, because I have two. But look at that. Oh, mate. Sick. So here is the clamshell box that's inside the bigger box, and I love that Todd includes these. It just feels so old school. I love it. It's such a nice display option. I did have my Kickstarter Spawn on display like this for a long ass time. Classic one. And it just looks so good. I love all the stickers on it. It looks really old school. Special edition comic book inside, which we'll have a little look at in a second. Firstly, I just wanted to show the certificate of authenticity that comes with this figure, with Todd's little signature down here. It's the only real way I can show this off. I apologise, it is quite unsightly having the lights there, but hey-oh, we'll make do. So yeah, let's take this guy out of his clamshell and we'll have a look at that exclusive comic book. Now, I do need to preference this. My clamshell is a little bit cracked at the top. I don't know if it was me that did it or if it came like that, but there is a little hairline split right here at the top, and it annoys the absolute shit out of me. The other one's not like that, so it doesn't bum me out too much, but yeah, it's a little bit annoying. Here's the comic book. Now in here it is just an art book, so what I'll do is I'll throw up some photos of the art book at the end, but it comes in this nice sleeve that keeps it all snug and cozy. Now, yeah, there's one thing about this art book that kind of frustrates me, is this really cool image of him with a necro sword of some kind, like necro energy. Why was that not included with the figure? Come on, a necro effect, man. That would have looked ace. But yeah, sadly, no cigar. And here is Kickstarter Spawn finally out of his packaging. It's hard to describe just how much paint and detail is on this figure without seeing it in person. It's when you see it in person that everything really pops. and comes together. When I first saw photos of him, I thought, it's a little bit messy, and I didn't know if I liked it or not, but now that I have him, I cannot begin to describe how much I like it. It's just something else. Let's have a little close look at him. Now, posing him around, I do get a little bit nervous that I'm going to knock stuff off, just because there is stuff that's held on via magnet, which I will showcase to you in a little bit. But having a proper look at this figure, yeah, look at that. Look at this thing. Beautiful. So beautiful. You can see here, this is the classic head sculpt. And it just looks so nice with the rest of this design. Now you can see where the cape clasps on with those two clasps. I'll show you a little bit more of how all the bits and pieces kind of work in a little bit. But first I just want to show off all of the paint and sculpt on this thing. Because there's a lot of it. There's a lot going on. Now on his chest here, you can see that all of the sculpts that you can choose will line up nicely with his abdominal region. And they do look nice. All of them do look good on the figure. I don't think there's an alternation with the looks that I dislike so far. Down here at the waist, we've got his belt. No real chains on this figure, apart from the flail, but that's okay, in my opinion. It looks great as is. I think that having real chains would kind of break the immersion with the look. He's got these leather strips, which are very akin to that of like a legionnaire or a Spartan. Not a Spartan. A legionnaire. Or a Roman soldier. You guys can correct me in the comments. I know that there'll be someone that will. Chainmail at the back here on his spawn ass. And you've got the thigh guards coming down to the knees. It's McFarlane, so you can't have both knees looking the same. Got this gold skull of like a little ram or a goat. And then you've got this skull here. And then the boots, you've got his big spawn boot, which this time round has got his emblem all down it. It's so ridiculous. And then you've got the spikes. And then you've got the boots. On the side you've got this like red cuff piece coming round and onto the back. It's excellent. So I wanted to show you guys some of the practicalities of this figure. So firstly, you've got the shields that attach with these clasps on the inside of the arm. They replace the gauntlets, so you can't have a gauntlet on as well as a shield. You'll see that there's these fasteners, these pegs that go in. It can be really fiddly, and then there's a magnet that kind of holds it in place as well, so it doesn't rely completely on these straps, which is nice because I think the weight of the shield would really be a pain in the ass to work with these straps, because these are already annoying. But then you can take them off, and there's the magnet piece. And that's where your gauntlets would go. So let's take a gauntlet. Here's one. And then, bosh. That's it. That is, you're good to go. It is so nice. I really like the magnet thing. I was really worried that this gimmick would be a complete, just a complete farce. But to be completely honest, it really works nicely. I dig it. Over here on the other side, you can see I've put the sword on, and that's where the bottom part coming off, and then the sword sliding out. Really, really worthwhile alteration that he made to that kind of feature. It works great. Sometimes you need to remember which way round these little bits can go, because there is a certain way that they slot in, but you'll find it quite easy. Now, here we've got the shoulder armor. So, right, this is we're getting to one of my gripes now. The shoulder armor, I really like the ball and socket joint. It's nice. It's a double ball and socket joint in there, actually. Not to get into articulation early, but here it moves around out of the way, and it's on a ring where the shoulder connects to the body, which is nice. But sometimes that ring will fall down and get extremely gappy. Now, you can't really tell because of the sheath on here, and the sheath is kind of adding friction so that it's not moving around. If we go to this side, yeah, you can straight up see it's like these rings aren't actually designed for this figure, even though they clearly are. It's really weird. Sometimes they'll just completely flop around like a mess when you're trying to pose the figure looking all badass and cool. So here we have the sheath or scabbard that can attach on. You can take it off just by sliding it up and over. You can slide it up and over the collar, up and over his head, and then down. Boom. We have the chest piece. Now, I really like that. There we go, see? The gappiness. You would think that these ring parts they're there to stop the gappage. Here we've got the chest, and we've got these clasps which can slide on and off, and they're what hold the cape or cloak onto the figure, and you can take it off as so, and you can have him without his cloak. It does make his shoulders look a little bit small, but you can kind of, there we go. Like, see, loosey goosey. What's that about? Shouldn't be loose. Right, that's where the shoulder pads can kind of come in handy, and you can kind of cover up those little traps. It looks good. Looks nice without his cape. But yeah, these clasps are interchangeable. The peg is nice and long, so it goes through the cloak, into the chest piece plate, and then into the body of the figure. And this is held on with magnets. So you can see the peg holes, the peg goes through to hold them on, and the magnet kind of holds it in place so it's not flapping about while you're trying to do that. And this is where you can trade out the pieces. Let's take the heavy metal one. And it slots on nice. And then you can add your clasps if you want, or you can add the cloak. So yeah, you've got so many options. Bringing in the modern Spawn into the mix. This is them both side by side. I think that every time I think I've made up my mind which one I prefer, I go back on myself. I think it might be the blue one, the classic look, just because of that silver dry brushing over the chainmail. It looks fantastic. And then like, see the browns pop as well. The silver looks so good with the blue. Yeah, I think it might be classic boy. Now, articulation is where this figure really it frustrates me, because he has much better articulation on the upper body compared to the first Kickstarter figure of Spawn. But see the bottom half? Oh boy. He needs this stand. Right, let's do a little demonstration for you, shall we? If I take him off his stand, look at, he's so slidey because these hips are absolutely horrible. I can't put it any other way. These hips are the worst. I don't know how, because it's the same sort of setup. that Todd has been doing for the past, what, 5 years now? Since he got the DC Multiverse license. It's this... oh. That... No, no, no. No thigh swivel as well. Come on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start from the top and work our way down. So in the head, we've got a double ball and socket. It's like a dumbbell joint. We've got one all the way buried down in the neck, the same way that Marvel Legends do it, for some reason. And then we've got one at the top. Now, granted, this guy has a decent amount of range. He can look up relatively well. He can look down relatively well. You've got your attitude. It's good. I'm not going to knock it too much, because it does work. In the shoulders, we've got those horrible rings. The loosey-goosey rings. Yeah. And then we've got the double ball peg in the shoulder. No. Well, in the shoulder pad. Now turn it around. We've got a ball and socket going into the shoulder that gives you some sort of weird jiggling. Please excuse the noise outside. It just seems to be getting worse with time. Take that off, it's easier to see the movement. You can bring the shoulder back. You can bring the shoulder forward. And then you've got your hinge. Brings the arm out. You've got the swivel that gives you 360 degrees. Then you've got your double jointed elbows, which brings the arm up past 90. And then at the bottom, you've got, now it's hard to see, you've got your sort of ball hinge thing that McFarlane does, where it's like a swivel that allows the hand to move in and out, but then if you configure it, you can give your character the kind of roll of the dice motion that allows him to move his hand up and down. It depends how you configure it. And then you've got a ball and socket at the hand that connects into the hand. At the chest, we've got a pretty generous crunch ball and socket hinge that goes into the chest. You can actually see it if you take off the chest plate. Got a relatively large gap in there. Then you've got your chest that can crunch all the way forward. And I think you can do that with this on as well, yeah. Which is really nice. I wish that more McFarlane figures could crunch forward. And then with the waist, there is another ball and socket that is very stiff, so you can swivel at the waist as well. And then with both joints, you can crunch forward that far. Nothing amazing, but it's not bad. Oh dear. Now here we get to the bit I can't stand. These pitiful hip joints. So you can lift his leg up only that far, which isn't shocking. But you can move his leg out that far, but it's the looseness. Look at that. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, no thigh cut at all, not even a little wiggle, which is really poor. Double jointed knees, which are decent. Bring the foot almost all the way up. Now, this is my other gripe, again, with the lower legs on this figure, is that we have a horrible rivet system. That means that the legs are on these really horrible rivets, and when they're positioned, there is wiggle room. So if I straighten out his legs, he wiggle wobbles on his leg. Like, I've got his feet firmly planted on my table, on my desk, and he can still wiggle because of those horrible, horrible knees. I don't get it. Look at that. What is that?
Brother, what's that?
But it really takes away a lot of the play factor because you need the knees and the hips to be able to get into action poses. The ankles are on that same ball hinge setup, so you've got your ankle pivot, you've got your foot rotation, they all go up and down, not far, they go forward more than they go back, which is fine. And then you've got your toe hinge, which is kind of questionable looking, but it works. It's just not fun to pose from the waist down. Waist up, yeah. It's a lot of fun to pose waist up, but waist down, nah, all the fun is gone. Here is our medieval spawn standing next to the clown and the violator. And here is our most recent Kickstarter medieval spawn next to the first Kickstarter spawn figure from McFarlane Toys. This is our Kickstarter medieval spawn standing next to the two Mortal Kombat spawn figures that I have. This is the classic Mortal Kombat spawn, and this is the Commando spawn with a custom shroud. And here's our Kickstarter medieval spawn standing next to Geralt of Rivia. And here you've got your Doomslayer from Doom Eternal. Overall, my final thoughts are that this is a really worthy addition to the collection. I'm really glad that I picked these guys up because I'm sure that they're going to go ridiculously overpriced in the aftermarket. I feel sorry for anybody that didn't manage to get these guys that wants them, because these figures really do pop. I know I might sound like I'm exaggerating or kissing the Todd father's ass when I say this, but the sculpt and the paint really is so impressive. I really struggle to figure out just how to phrase it. I know I didn't really go into the accessories much, and I am sorry if anybody was wanting to see a longer video that goes really in depth with each accessory, because that is exactly what I did shoot. Honestly, the accessory segment was hitting about 20 minutes, and it was bringing the video up to about 45 to 50 minutes long, and I was really worried that for my second video that would put a lot of people off. Please do let me know in the comments if in future you would like to see much longer videos like that, because honestly I can talk about toys and action figures non-stop. This guy has really great shelf presence. Your eyes are immediately drawn to him when he is displayed, and the amount of options that you've got with the accessories allows for so many different looks and styles. I think that you can have a lot of fun with the playability factor of this guy. He poses well with others. I didn't really get any shots of him with the Doomslayer, but he really did look cool next to him. You know what? Little tangent. Why the fuck did Todd not make any demon figures for the Doomslayer from Doom? What is that about? Come on. Todd, look at the Violator here. Why did Todd not make any demon figures? Somebody answer that question in the comments, because I just can't stop scratching my head over it. But as always guys, please drop me a like if you like this video, but most of all, give me a comment. Let me know what you think about this stuff. I want to have conversations about these figures. I'm really passionate about collecting and just models and action figures in general, so come on, let's have some conversations about some action figures and geek out. I've got some figures that I really want to review. At some point I want to go over some older figures, so let me know if you're into that sort of stuff. So please guys, stay geek, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.